They also knew, those founding fathers, that outside of its legitimate functions, government does nothing as well or as economically as the private sector of the economy. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. We will keep in mind and remember that Barry Goldwater has faith in us. He has faith that you and I have the ability and the dignity and the right to make our own decisions and determine our own destiny. Thank you very much.
Hi, we're live from Biden's basement.
What? That's a horrible place to be. Hello everyone and welcome back to Uncommon Sense. I've been traumatized. My name is Billy. And Biden force-fed me ice cream this morning.
After he sniffed your hair.
Yeah, right after he snuffs my hair. Through the Trump hat. Yep.
You know what he said?
Oh.
Smells like victory.
Victory. Yeah. Just had flashbacks to 1984. Anyways, we are back to question everything and learn together.
That's right.
You guys are here to do the same. Otherwise, why are you here?
You like the hat.
It's the hat. Or the crooked teeth. The dimples?
And I am frozen again.
Again.
Again, just
And
come over and minimize.
now
You don't
I
have to move the window, just right there. And bring it back up. There we go.
We thought we had it figured out, and I guess we don't.
Yeah, no, now I'm on the...
Well, as the cup says,
You might
we
want
got
to
our
click right there real quick.
together, and then
There you
we
go.
lost it.
Click that twice. One more time. There you go. Had my ugly mug up behind you.
I'm scared.
Welcome
when Biden
back to
creeps up on you?
Uncommon Sense. I'm one of your uncommon hosts. I am Butch, Uncle Butch to those that know and love me. Just Butch to those who, well, know me.
Why, it's Captain Butch to you, mate.
Oh, I'm matey.
Oh. Not really. You're like the first mate, I guess.
Oh, no, not the first mate.
Yeah.
That makes me Gilligan.
It does. You, Gilligan, you.
Skipper!
Goodbye! Oh, man.
I could really be Gilligan. I just couldn't do it.
I can see you as Gilligan.
You can see me as Gilligan?
I know you in a different light than everyone else.
Oh, that's true.
Bet you if I asked your wife, she'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Gilligan. Definitely not a skipper.
That's my dad. Right, though?
Right.
Okay, now that we figured out who the captain is,
Welcome
I'm
aboard.
just
All you
I'm just-
uncommoners
yeah.
out there, all you first-time listeners and watchers, thank you for joining us today. We really do appreciate it.
and for all our pirate jokes, since I'm apparently the cabin boy.
Again.
Not again. At least not Biden's cabin boy.
Right. Good.
You know he got one of those, right? Bring some ice cream.
I don't know. Talking about Biden, though, there was a report recently that his dog tried to bite someone at the White House, so they had to remove the dog from the White House. He's no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess during the incident, Joe Biden actually kicked the dog. Yeah. So,
Interesting.
yeah. Yeah, just
Why?
thought-
Ask why PETA isn't there, but PETA kills dogs.
Yeah.
Just look it up. They kill more dogs every year than anyone else. Than probably Koreans.
Than most Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're into bats now. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
they probably kill more dogs than
No
Mexican
offense to
food
Chinese
trucks.
restaurants, I guess.
Than Mexican food trucks. Wait a minute.
Me as an American, I believe
I didn't
in
order
a melting
chicken.
pot of food and banquet, and I'm a lover of food.
Oh, me too. And I love Mexican food, so don't get me wrong. But have you ever gone to one of them little Mexican spots out in, out there?
Last
And,
time I had
Found seemingly a chicken bone, but it doesn't break like a chicken bone, and you didn't order chicken. Meanwhile, they raise chihuahuas. Anyway.
no only for sell for for selling. Yeah.
Oh, great. Now they're puppy farmers. What are you really saying? The puppy cartel.
This puppy was only stroked by a little old lady 3 times a week. You can go ahead and have this little chihuahua if you want him.
He's off.
Stressed out. One eye popped out
Shaking.
larger than the other one.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, I forgot. We have a show tomorrow.
Oh, yes, let's do the show. We have a couple topics we want to talk to you about today.
Do we, though?
Yes, we do.
Ah, darn it.
Yes, we have to get into it, unfortunately.
All right, then let me get off my saddle.
Yes, get your notes out. Take notes, people. Understand that this is a learning process.
Yes. Where's my monocle? I'm gonna get one of those one day. Just to walk around and be like, with a top hat.
I
And a
can see
cane.
you. I can see you with a
Yeah.
top hat. And
Yeah, like a
monocles,
1920s
and
suit.
a cane.
You're like,
coat.
eat your heart out, Rockefeller. Him and J.P. Morgan. Oh,
What do you think the
And the Monopoly
PJE
guy.
stands for?
and I don't care what they say, he did wear a monocle. So did the peanut guy.
Yep.
They both had a cane and a top hat.
Coincidence? I think not. Just
No.
kidding.
Also, people didn't hold monocles in their eye like that all the time. Very rarely was anybody actually
you,
doing
you
that.
brought it up.
You held it. It was like basically a magnifying glass. It was before we had, Ben Franklin and his binocular. The spitefulness.
Oh,
and then
makes you
binocular
wonder
hearing.
about gentleman that plays Colonel Clean from Helping Zeros.
Mm-hmm.
How he'd hold it in his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to do that all day, though?
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I'll just
But I found out that after acting a little bit and doing Hogan's Heroes, he became a conductor of a orchestra and or of a big symphony orchestra, and he's rather well renowned as a conductor.
nice.
So
We have monocles. We have like the little clips on them, like on old pocket watches and stuff, and then we just clip them into their pocket, and if they needed to read fine print or something.
right,
Anyway,
happens when the vision goes. Just saying.
well, and for some things, even when you have good vision.
Right.
Plus, it made you look fancy.
Fancy that.
It's macaroni, baby.
Imagine that.
Oh, that's rather macaroni. I like it.
I like
it
it.
a lot. Anyway. I wasn't a Jim Carrey fan as a kid.
No.
What made you think that?
Farmer Bill. Or who is that? Not Farmer Bill. It was Fireman Bill. Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Where were they going?
We was talking about measure.
First of all, actually, before I jump over to that,
Oh, okay.
I got some good news
What's
and
that?
some bad news.
Oh,
Everybody?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got good news and bad news
Just
today,
a
folks.
couple things. Okay, the bad news is that we know that the Dems are still pursuing this whole Measure 114,
Yes, they are.
as well as 2005. But the good news is, and I don't have an article pulled up for it right now, but you can look it up yourselves pretty easily. The FBI, and it was left by a super fan last week as well in a comment, that the FBI has refused to do the fingerprinting
Yes.
that is stated in Measure 114.
Right.
Therefore, it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
They will literally have to take it back and rewrite the whole thing and put it back to vote.
Yep.
And Oregonians are waking up by the second.
Mm.
So, worst of luck to them.
Yes.
Anyway, so, the second round of bad news is that I heard, although I haven't found my own substantial proof yet, which we'll kind of get into, but I have heard that Measure 110, that decriminalized heavy drugs in Oregon, was lobbied by New Yorkers.
Yes.
So, at the moment,
Well,
for me,
New
this is
Yorkers
just
are
hearsay.
people out of state.
But if you guys have any information, it is alleged that
Right.
110 was lobbied by New Yorkers. And I only say alleged because I don't have the proof in hand right now.
Right.
So, if you guys have proof, if you have any articles, please send them our way so that we can delve into that a little bit more.
Right.
So that being the bad news, the good news is 110 is going back to vote because people are not happy.
That's right.
And we talked about that last week. So
Yep.
if you don't know about all the buyer's remorse in Oregon, voters' remorse in Oregon,
Yeah, voters remorse.
watch
big
last week's live stream. Please.
Please do.
Of course. Please and thank you. Okay, so Measure 110. Like I said, I can't find anything proving that it was lobbied by New Yorkers. But here, and I did put the link in the description, is a whole plethora of information about 110, who supported it, who didn't support it, the different organizations and blah, 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 blah that were
Right.
all behind it and so on and so forth. But we found some interesting stuff just kind of
Yes, we did.
thumbing through here trying to figure out if the New York thing was true. Okay. Support. There's all the, like, Washington County Justice Initiative PAC.
Yeah. Justice Initiative PAC.
And they're okay with decriminalize. Why? That, to me, I mean, we know how a lot of the justice systems of sort work.
Right. Up in the
So-
north towards Portlandia.
And on both sides, all sides of the political spectrum, there is arguments against prisons
Mm.
and the way that they're run, and against the justice system and how manipulated it is by
Right.
higher ups, right? So they're donating all of this money, what, $3,600 for what? How does that benefit them?
Is that what the $3,600? Wow.
How does that benefit them?
Yeah. Well, because, people are of a nature do things that only benefit them
And organizations.
and organizations. Who is it benefiting? Let's take a look at that. Let's delve into it a little bit more.
So, here's another thing. Donors, top donors, drug policy action. We got $4.5 million. Sorry. Donated from drug policy action.
Yeah.
Aren't they supposed to help people? Isn't that one of those that helps people, like, get off the drugs? Or they're supposed to?
I guess. Drug policy action. Let's look it up real quick.
Why would they donate to something like this with unknown repercussions for those that use drugs? Putting more drugs out there, maybe that's why. Because it brings them in money if there's more addicts, so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Policy action. All right. Drug policy action is, let's get it back there, is the advocacy and political partner of the Drug Policy Alliance. So Drug Policy Alliance, let's look that up. It's a left-of-center nonprofit organization that advocates for total drug decriminalization and uses identity politics as a basis for determining how it wants drug law enforcement spending to be repurposed. One of its predecessor organizations was co-founded by George Soros, and he sits on the board of the alliance.
Oh, why am I not surprised? Oh, man. Boom. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Huh. That's rather interesting. We just found this out, you guys. In case you could my reaction. Wow. Okay. On one hand, you can see it coming, and then when you don't quite expect it right away, that's how you react.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, so Drug Policy Action is a Soros organization. Duly noted.
Yeah, we're on the board.
Huh?
He sits on the board.
Yeah.
Of the alliance.
He's Mr. Big Guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not Biden. The other big guy.
Why would
the other big guy.
Why would he want to fund something like that? To decriminalize drugs. And uses identity politics as a basis for determining how it wants drug law enforcement spending to be repurposed.
Repurposed.
Isn't that? Oh, wait. They have a word for that. Let me see. 3 words. Defund the police.
So, who's next on the list?
Yeah.
Let me go back over here.
Let's get over here. I'm getting into this now.
Welcome back to the channel where we're crushing everything you learn together, and it's always entertaining. Okay, so we got a $500,000 here from Chan Zuckerberg Initiative Advocacy.
Wow, Chan Zuckerberg, that's the wife of Mark Zuckerberg.
Is it?
If I'm correct. They both live in Hawaii. That's where they have their main residence at. And we know Hawaii is a Democrat state, Democrat policies and put in place there. We've also done some reporting on a document that was from there not too long ago. So
we got some other
why are they
interesting
trying
stuff.
to push that Democrat policy over on Oregon?
Real quick, bringing up Hawaii though. I don't know if I've mentioned it on the show before. If I have, let me know in the comments if you guys remember me mentioning it. But I know you and I have discussed the theory that Hawaii is not actually a state.
Right, yes.
Alaska too. But I know that there was no treaty ever signed between the former queen
Right.
and the American government.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around Hawaii's history is very shady and hush hush. Like, they don't really talk about it. You know, kind of like they don't talk about the Act of 1871.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Even
Or
people
the
in
Act.
Hawaii, people that grew up there, even a lot of the, this generation of native people, they don't even know their own history.
Right. It's all
And it's not even that far.
filtered.
It's not even that far in the history.
Right.
They're the last state, the 50th state.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-called.
we, on the mainland of America,
Right.
are all sovereign states.
Right.
Are Hawaii and Alaska sovereign states?
Alaska was actually purchased from Russia.
Uh-huh.
So, it's a territory. I know that.
Well, we were all territories at one time.
Right, but is it a territory of the United States?
But was there ever... Yeah, was it ever properly christened as a...
State.
Yeah, as a sovereign state? That word right there is very important.
Right.
Because we are a sovereign state. All the first 48 are all sovereign states. Which means we are essentially our own small country. Okay, like that's how we run as miniature countries. Which collectively is the United States of America.
Right. Alaska is a sovereign state of the United States on an equal footing with all other states.
Is Hawaii. I'm just curious. Because I also found an interesting video recently that I haven't finished watching it, and maybe we might play parts of it or discuss it in an after show one day where we can, not have to censor ourselves. We can freely discuss it thanks to Rumble. Because there's this channel, it's one of those that I wouldn't normally watch. It's like, an enlightenment type channel, right?
Right.
One of your life positivity channels or whatever. And I'm not into that stuff.
Right.
But I came across an interview that this woman did recently with a woman from Hawaii, a native from Hawaii with, I think it was like her daughter-in-law or something like that.
Right.
But they were sitting there talking about the history that they have collected about Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And she is also in the stance that her beloved Hawaii is not a sovereign state as we have been led to believe.
Right.
So I haven't finished watching it, like I said. But there's some interesting stuff around all of that, too.
Right.
So, sorry to get off the subject there on you a little bit, guys, but it just popped into my head. Because there's some other stuff about Hawaii, too, that I really want to talk
November
about.
10th, 2020, to acknowledge the 100th anniversary of the January 17th, 1893 overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Yes, stop.
And to,
The overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii.
right.
And yes, I know that's the anniversary because she just talked about that.
Right.
And I think she brought up that specific line as well.
Okay.
Because they do celebrate it as the day that the Queen was overthrown.
Well, and to offer an apology to Native Hawaiians on behalf of the United States for the overthrow, known as the Apology Resolution, U.S. Public Law 103-150, is a joint resolution of the U.S. Congress adopted in 1993 that acknowledges the illegal overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii and has been a major impetus for the Hawaiian sovereignty movement.
So Hawaii is not a sovereign state it's still a movement.
Right. There's a movement out there to.
There's a movement that no one's being told about.
Right. That says, hey,
how many Hawaiians even know that that's a movement?
It's a group of.
I mean, I'm sure that there's several of them, but I kind of feel like maybe there's not enough.
The nation of Hawaii is a group of Kanaka Maoli, or Native Hawaiians, in favor of Hawaiian independence from the United States. It is formed by proponents of the Hawaiian sovereignty movement in resistance to what sovereignty advocates consider the occupation of Hawaii by the United States.
That would explain some things, though, about Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. It would.
It's a business, as far as the government's concerned. It's an asset. Well, I mean, we all are now.
Yeah, but
it's an asset on a whole different level than the rest of the sovereign states.
Business. It's also an outpost, too. There's Marine Corps Air Base there. There's naval bases there.
Oh. Okay, so we are going to have a short after show that we might just talk about some stuff and throw it in there today because I haven't had a lot of time to clip stuff up. My life is crazy. Or maybe I'm just crazy. It's a little bit both. So, because there's some stuff I found that they've tried to scrub from the internet.
Right.
Okay, and pardon my French, but I'm going to tell you guys a channel that you got to go check out if you're interested in this Hawaii stuff. And watch as much of his content as you can before it's scrubbed.
Right.
Because there's stuff in his content that's supposed to not be there. Anyways, the channel's called Hustle Bitch. Yeah, I said it, sorry. Anyway, beep. Beep. But that's what the channel's name is.
Right.
Okay, look him up. He's bald-headed, wears a suit. Okay, in his videos, he's usually standing on some nice-looking porch down in Cali or somewhere, you know. Kind of tropically looking.
Right.
But yeah, he's got some interesting clips that we're not supposed to know about right now about missing peoples, little peoples.
Yes.
And what happened to the devices of which they may or may not have been transported on.
Right. Anyway, look up his channel. Look up his content. We're not endorsed by him. We're just doing a recommendation.
Yep. You know, watching everything learn together.
So who else do we have on that list?
Okay, so we got Miss Chan Zuckerberg Initiative Advocacy Group.
Right, he was just talking about that. And we was talking about why she would have an input in Oregon politics.
Yeah, why? Where is she from?
Yeah, she's from Hawaii.
She lives in Hawaii now?
Yeah, she lives in Hawaii now. A Hawaiian resident. So why is she wanting to dictate what goes on or I don't want to say dictate.
What is it of her concern? Like, why would it concern her as to what the policies in Oregon are?
Right.
Why does she care what we're doing over here?
Yeah.
And why would she fund to give people drugs? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, what's 1630 fund? We know what ACLU and ACLU
1630 fund?
Because they donated a quarter mil, so $250,000. I love this. More treatment for a better Oregon. Yes, on 110. More treatment. You weren't providing more treatment. Alright. And if that's what you promised, well, you failed. Because, there's no treatment happening here.
You ready for this?
Maybe.
The 1630 Fund, sometimes styled 1630 Fund, is a left-of-center lobbying and advocacy organization founded in 2008. 1630 Fund often operates alongside its charitable sister nonprofit, New Venture Fund.
Real quick, it's interesting to me how much... Why do I keep reading stuff like this lately and it's all from 2008? It started in 2008. Listen,
which provides similar funding and fiscal sponsorship to services to center-left organizations. Both groups, along with the Hopewell Fund, Windward Fund, and North Fund, are administered by Arabella Advisors, a Washington, D.C. based philanthropy consulting firm that caters to left-leaning clients. Yeah.
I totally forgot to.
I noticed they're being all ran through a group called Arabella Advisors. Arabella Advisors, or commonly called Arabella, is a philanthropic consulting company that guides the strategy, advocacy, impact investing, and management for high-dollar left-leaning nonprofits and individuals. Arabella provides these clients with a number of services that ease their operations and that enable them to enact policies focused on environmentalism and other left-of-center issues. The company was founded in 2005 by Eric Kessler, a Clinton administration alumnus and longtime staffer at the League of Conservation Voters, who remains a senior managing partner and principal at the firm.
Interesting.
Now, isn't that kind of, I don't know, misleading? League of Conservation Voters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Lincoln Project. How, like...
Yeah.
What?
So
like the People's Fund of Maui.
So that's what's going on there.
Interesting.
Very.
Huh. Okay, I'm gonna type in something real quick because I want to show you guys something.
All right, let's do this.
Let's see if I can find it real quick. Because if you guys haven't seen this clip, it's hilarious.
Oh.
Charlie Kirk and Roseanne Barr. So I can, here it is. Okay, we're just gonna go over here, share screen real quick. You guys gotta see this.
Alright.
Sorry, this just popped in my head, and so we're gonna sidetrack for a second, just because y'all gotta see this.
One of Billy Squirrel moments. It's alright though.
Squirrel. Well, I watch Squirrel Tribe on YouTube. Squirrel Tribe, whoop whoop. Okay.
First thing that comes to mind throughout this list: Zelensky,
criminal,
Putin,
scary,
Elon Musk.
Scary.
Zelensky is a criminal. Putin he's scary, but he's not a criminal. And he's equal with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donald Trump,
King,
Hillary Clinton,
Satan,
Michelle Obama,
Satan,
Joan Rivers,
victim,
of
Satan,
Kamala Harris,
Satan,
LeBron James,
cuckoo,
Tucker Carlson,
king,
Jimmy Kimmel.
freak,
I'm going to save a good one for last. Nancy Pelosi.
Satan's boss.
First thing that comes to mind throughout.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so you're welcome for that. I was like, sorry for the squirrel moment, but it's a good. Okay.
All right. So the ACLU and the ACLU of Oregon. Well,
we know who they are.
Yeah.
So, you know,
our big question is,
that's disturbing
yeah,
that they would donate to something like this.
right. It is very difficult.
Especially now that we know the impact of something like this.
Right.
Devastation. And it's extreme.
They're trying to sway votes by their donations and sway the outcome.
Because people in Oregon, we hear ACLU and we're like, oh, well, that's good, right?
No.
I'm telling you guys, the dog is working with the man. Oh, I was watching one of our shows the other day. I gotta make a clip of it because I was listening to myself and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't say man, bear, pig.
Man, bear, pig.
Come on, guys, this one's gonna work. The 2005 where I was like, because all the other ones, they didn't work, but this one's gonna be the one. I'm telling you guys, there's a man, bear, pig. Super cereal. And I invented the internet. Anyway.
Oh, man.
If you don't watch South Park, you're missing out. So, anyways, there's enough questions right in this little section here.
And where can you get this information? We're going to link it into the chat box right now.
In fact, I believe it's the first link as you scroll down. I know there's a lot of shit in there, guys, but,
I know.
We have to kind of disclaim ourselves as well in there, because we're not professionals at anything.
And if we were, we would not be trying this at home.
I would. Speak for yourself, man. Okay, so, and then there's this section here that kind of goes over the stuff here. Like, if you had been, caught with this stuff, this is the time in jail and your fines that you would have paid for such things. Okay, and now you can just carry a bunch of it, like, no problem.
Right.
Okay, if you're caught with over a user amount, as they say, you're gonna die. Then you get a little slap on the wrist, less than I would pay for not wearing a seatbelt. Just saying. Okay, so all that stuff's in there for you guys to
peruse and
check out.
Next, what are we talking about?
We're just gonna brief over this one here real quick. Oregon City, the cities and counties, State Measure 110 blew a hole in their budgets.
I bet it did.
So I'll pretty much just let you guys read this, but it just goes to show the severe impact this has had all over Oregon.
Right.
Everyone wants to focus on Portland, but it is affecting all of us. It has taken from our pockets, therefore the pockets of our counties, our cities, so on and so forth. And we are all feeling it. We are having to pay for all the junk that's going on. With what little they are doing about it.
Right.
So, local governments are trying to get lawmakers to reroute tens of millions of dollars currently paying for addiction services. Tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any proper services set up. Just like they don't have any proper services set up for the whole 114 thing.
Right.
They have little to no system for that. We've talked about that before.
This is a dream based on no fact or reality. That's what these measures are. It's hope. It's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
It is. If we pass it, everyone's going to stop doing drugs, right? Okay, well, let's think it the same way. If you pass it where you decriminalize gun control, everyone's going to give them away, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's not how that works. Okay, so fun facts. We got one little fun fact here for you guys real quick. Did you know that China and Russia
recently participated in military parades
in Mexico together?
Yeah, all three of them. Yeah. Just south of our border. Listen.
Mexico this past week?
I don't think so.
So they had their military parade through the capital. Guess what other military presence were there? The Russians and the Chinese.
That's not.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, makes you wonder, huh?
Yeah. Oh, another fun fact. Did you guys know that there are already Chinese police stations in America?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Look it
Of
up.
course I'm paying attention. Aren't you?
See, I find this stuff because of squirrel. Yeah. That's how I find this stuff.
Not good.
That's scary though.
I know.
Hopefully we're just being friends, but there's got to be something more.
Yeah, exactly. There's got to be something more. Like, oh yeah, like
Yeah.
we're getting along and everything.
Yeah.
What?
Can't just be friends with
You,
them.
sure you
can't
can.
just be friends with
Sure
them.
you can.
When they're marching their military through your streets.
That's like a guy that's like, he finds out like the 1930s, like he's like, hey, like who'd you hang out with last night? My buddy Jeremy Adolf and wait,
Yeah.
what? It's like what? Listen, it's just like he's not working. It's just like we're just hanging out as friends.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Right? We're just
Yeah.
hanging out.
As friends.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Bush and Bill being friends. It's no big deal. Right? We just play golf on weekends.
But you know what? I think we need to do.
I have nothing to do with him and his wife's whatever.
As far as our southern border, you know what I think we need to do? Set up checkpoints where, we already have ports of entry. Everything else besides ports of entry, we're not going to have, ICE out there anymore enforcing that. We're going to have the U.S. military board. And if you come across or attempt to come across,
Well, that's what ICE
Well, yeah.
is supposed to be, essentially. It's
Right.
another small
And-
military
yeah.
force. So, I don't think I don't see anything wrong with ICE if it was run properly.
right. However, under the current administration,
Nothing's going right under the current administration.
everything's gone to the left.
Welcome to day 267 of Build Back Better. Nothing is built.
Nothing is back, and definitely nothing is better.
Yeah. What? I was gonna say something else about that. I guess it wasn't that important.
Wasn't that important? So yeah, just fun fact for you.
Just, yeah, some interesting facts there. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to our truly main subject for today. We really want to get into this one.
Yes.
Okay, I can't see it. I'm sure you guys can see it here. Oh, Lars Larson. There's our guy. All right.
Our guy.
We're fans. We don't know the guy, but we're fans of
We're
this
fans.
specific Oregon journalist.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. Oregon Food Bank says, sorry, Timmy, you're too white to eat today.
And if you read the story, what it comes out to be is that the Oregon Food Bank, before it will feed a Caucasian family, it has to have so much set aside for people of color, shall we say. And if that's not used, then we can have a little bit of that. But we only get this little portion here. And if somebody comes in before you and already takes that portion, sorry, Jimmy. That's racism, folks. That's segregation.
I just realized I didn't go back and change the title on this, but that's okay. Because I couldn't find the other link that I was looking for about...
Actually, you got it right.
Was it this one?
Yeah, Oregon Food Bank donated to what?
Yeah, but there was another article, too, that I had that I was going to bring up
Oh, okay.
that delved a little bit more into the $250,000 that they donated toward Measure 110 as well.
Yeah. What was their purpose? Why
Exactly.
Why are we paying taxes
And
to fund an organization for them to take that money?
that might have been an OPB article.
Right.
If you guys can find it, send it to me. I couldn't find it again. If I find it, I'll try to throw it on our Facebook or something like that.
Any government-funded agency, I believe, should not be able to donate
Nope.
to any other cause or political action
Yeah.
due to the fact that
That we got
that's not their
stuff
money.
like this going on. Like, people donate to the Oregon Food Bank
Right.
with the belief that that money is going to feed people.
Right.
Not that that money is going to be donated to decriminalize hard drugs.
Right. That's ridiculous.
Like, how many people in Oregon could you have fed with $250,000?
Yep.
Make
I
me
want
sick.
answers.
Yeah,
We have
really.
the questions. We demand the answers.
So, moving on with this weird racism thing that's going on with the Oregon Food Bank.
Right.
Should your skin color matter when it comes to food? Well, I don't think so, but apparently the Oregon Food Bank plans to prioritize its multi-million-dollar, largely taxpayer-funded efforts on race and gender. The food bank's own website blathers on about the usual woke stuff. Quote, those who most disproportionately experience hunger: Black, Indigenous, and all people of color, immigrants and refugees, gender expansive folks, including Two-Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but what does your gender, whatever, have to do with whether or not you can access food?
Right.
What
That-
does your
that-
color in America have to do with you being able to access food? Are they
Shouldn't
going
have
on like
anything to do with
worldwide statistics here saying
Right.
that more people of color?
No. What?
It doesn't make any
What it does make sense to me, because what it is that the Democrats and the left lean, not all Democrats, let me rephrase that, the left leaning Democrats out there are trying to stigmatize
So,
color
well,
and race.
liberals.
And,
Yes.
yes, the liberals.
Okay,
And
but
they're
for those
doing
that
this
actually can use our
so they
brains.
could try to blame conservatives.
But for those that can actually use your brains, if you actually
Right.
just think for 5 seconds, think about how racist that sounds.
But it's not racist.
Yeah, it's not racist. But you're telling me that people in America, with all the privileges and freedoms that we have in this country, that just because of their skin color, they can't get food?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is also coming from the same people that say that people of color, frankly, like myself, can't access IDs or driver's license or
internet.
yeah, I don't know how to use the internet. That's why I'm streaming live on YouTube.
Right.
And you know how many live streamers I watch that are black or of color or whatever?
Right.
Like, what? I'm just saying.
It's
Well,
frustrating.
I must be starving, people, I'm telling you.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
don't know how to forage for food for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know how to. Oh, I don't know. Well, if you're at the food bank, I guess you don't know how to use an EBT card.
Well, they wouldn't let me in anyways because, look, I'm a racist.
Oh yeah, you're a white supremacist. Oh man.
Okay, so, anyway, he says, who knew? The food bank apparently figures if you're white, straight, and hungry in Oregon, you should sit down to a big fat plate of privilege. How dare you? $20 million, $20 million from taxpayers of all colors, mind you, all genders, and all pronouns, goes to fund this nonsense.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who you are, background is, what you believe, whether or not you go to church or whether,
Right.
who you vote for, we all donate to this, even if we don't think we are. Okay. Food Bank CEO Susanna Morgan would like to hear some words from me. Yeah? Okay. She doesn't let her white skin get in the way of cashing in. Of course she does.
No. Of
So
course.
how much did she pull in? $200,000 a year for running a non-profit charity organization.
Yeah.
Non-profit. And she racks in $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Huh. Of my money? And your money? And your money.
We're paying.
All
we're
of
paying
our
her
money. We're
salary.
paying her paycheck, basically.
We just bought our
At
house.
least
and
the large majority of it.
we just sent our kids to college.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
we can barely put food on the table.
Timmy has to go hungry.
And we got people posting about it on Facebook. Oh, what kind of weirdo is driving around on 45 cents of gas? The guy that had to make it to work today so
Yeah.
he can feed his kids. Quit giving him a hard time, you college idiot.
man.
I saw that meme and I was like,
Yeah.
what woke college liberal made this? Well, meanwhile, their daddy is sending the money for their
Right.
gas.
Yeah.
Talking about privilege, man. Okay, so Lars goes on to say, I hate to get technical, but Article 1, Section 20 of the Oregon Constitution forbids treating citizens differently under the law. It's called discrimination.
Yes, that's right.
If you look for this story in Northwest media, you will not find it. And I know, because I tried to go see if I could find other outlets about this, and you can't find it. This is literally the only article I could find. Okay, so he's going to credit Abigail Anthony from National Review for digging this story out. Thank you, Abigail.
Yep.
The Daily Dead fish wrapper, Oregon Live, would rather remind you of Oregon's racist, distant past than point out what is going on right now under their own noses.
Yep, that's
That's because
right.
they know what's going on. They don't
They
want you
do.
to pay attention to that. No,
Yeah,
nothing to
because
see
it makes
here.
them look bad.
Just like there's nothing to see in Hawaii. That's why they could afford to put up a wall there, but not on the border.
Right. Oh, Biden's kind of changed his stance on that, though, too.
Yeah, well, I wonder if New York had anything to do with that.
Right now, Trump's waiting for an apology from Biden for his hypocrisy.
I
on
hope
the
he's not
wall.
holding his breath.
So he's probably not.
Please don't hold your breath, sir.
He would turn as blue as Biden's tie.
Right? Oh, I almost clicked sign out.
Well, with that, I think we're about done for today's episode.
And before we go, I do want to remind you guys to check out Right Now Oregon.
That's right.
We-
Right now, Oregon, you can find all of our latest episodes up there. You can find the past episodes on there.
Go to shows, scroll down a little bit because we are a U. Therefore, we're down at the bottom here.
Yep.
And you got all our stuff. I mean, you can pretty much stream anything you want. Here's all our playlists and stuff from YouTube. Although, apparently,
One's age restricted.
the one
Yeah. Or
that's
use
like
the
really age
profanity.
restricted. Well, and that one is one that we talked about, a very interesting subject.
Right.
So, yeah, poor Dusty, we traumatized him that day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but then all of our stuff's there. So,
Yeah. And for all full content, don't forget to check YouTube, Spotify, and for the after show, don't forget to check us out on Rumble.
which I don't have anything up yet, but we'll be getting stuff up shortly as far as like after shows, and I'm getting ready to make some more clips for YouTube, so that you guys can get bits of our stuff at a time if you don't
Right
want to.
now, Right now, we're having a
brings
bit
in more people.
of an issue with Billy's own setup to
Yeah, my-
edit videos, so
My computer went down, so
we're
Yeah.
working hard to get that back up and running. If you want to donate, go ahead and let us know over at UnCommon
You guys got kids'
2020 at
Don't donate to me.
gmail.com.
but I appreciate any even thoughts of I appreciate that.
Let's have a lot
But-
of good prayers, good thoughts, good vibes.
I'm one that I don't expect handouts. I'll just work my ass off for everything. So yeah. But anyway,
With that, we're going to go ahead and close the show off. Don't believe the nonsense.
and stay uncommon.